So with the Diablo 4 beta test coming to an end, I think one of the biggest complaints has been itemization, and I think one of the biggest worries going forward is going to be what the end game has to offer. And with so many new people coming into the Diablo 4 community that haven't followed the game's development, a lot of people don't know what the developers have planned for Seasons. So that's what I want to go over in this video, because I think Seasons are going to be a pretty big answer to itemization and the end game. And Diablo 4 is going to be heavily focused on being a live service game. That means a new season every 3 months, so they're trying to get those 4 seasons in a year, and somewhere down the road, probably every year or every 2 years, we're also going to be getting massive expansions. So this means Diablo 4 on launch can almost be seen as just a base or a starting point to be heavily modified and added to later down the road. And we're even going to be getting the first season only a couple weeks after the initial launch. So content is going to be coming pretty quick after the game is released. And D4 seasons are going to work in a very similar way to Path of Exile or Diablo 3, where a new season comes out, it's on a seasonal realm, so you have to go make new characters and level them up for that new season. And there's also going to be specific leaderboards, and usually everybody comes back specifically for the season. Everybody's leveling up together. A lot of people like to see how fast they can level and see how high they can get on the leaderboards. And with Diablo 4, Season 1 is actually when all the leaderboards for the game start. And again, that's going to be a few weeks after launch. And the developers have some pretty lofty goals for every new season, because at a baseline, they're going to be adding a new gameplay feature and main quest line with every new season. And that's just the beginning, because they're going to be adding a ton more content on top of that we're also going to be going over in this video. But this baseline is very important, because new gameplay feature means something that's actually going to change up the game, whether it be a new gearing system, a new mode or way to play in that season, a new main quest line that's going to further the story of the game, or add in new characters, or potentially go to new parts of Sanctuary. And one of the things that's really cool with this is that these new gameplay features and quests you will experience before the end of your first hour in every new season. So they want these new pieces of content in the season to be experienced, or at least first experienced, very early on within that season. And one of their big focuses for every new season is going to be how they can change up the meta. Now, they don't want to completely nerf builds into the ground so they're not used, but they also don't want to have builds that are so strong that that's all that's going to be used. Their main goal is to have as many builds be viable as they can possibly get. And they have a bunch of different ways to do this. Balancing classes directly, balancing specific pieces from specific builds, changing powers, or just changing the number knobs on any other piece of the game so that you always have a ton of different builds that are viable that you can try out in these new seasons. And they're also going to be changing up the meta by adding in new legendary and unique items, adding in new Paragon boards and glyphs, and just continuing to add more ways to customize your characters. And keep in mind, all those additions we went over is just getting more of the similar things we already have, but we're getting that new gameplay feature every new season. So that new gameplay feature can add in a completely different type of itemization or gearing, such as set items or runes, which we do know is coming back in future seasons. So as you could imagine, if they added something like set items into a new season, that would completely change the balancing of a lot of the builds and potentially add in the viability of dozens of new builds. So I would fully expect every new season to have some new potential builds to try out, even if you're playing the same class you've always been playing. And on top of all the new content and additions we just went over, there's also going to be a smaller bit of content that they're calling live events that'll crop up every new season. And some of the examples I gave is Drowned may invade a region of the map for a weekend, or a strange peddler may show up in one of the zones. So these are probably going to be smaller pieces of content that I would expect to most likely be cycling through. So maybe every weekend or once or twice every week, there's going to be some small event that happens that maybe gives you a new way to gear, or some new reward or content to go do for a smaller limited time. Now, with all this new content being added in, you want some objectives to go along with that. And that's where the season journey comes into play. Now, the season journey is just going to be a free part of every season. There's no monetization tied to the system at all. And essentially, this is a progression path throughout the entirety of the new season. There's a bunch of chapters of different things to go complete. And completing these chapters is going to give you a handful of different rewards, specifically shown off as gear and resources. And then completing different parts of the season journey and completing it all will also earn you some permanent cosmetic unlocks. And these objectives can range from anything from enchanting a piece of armor to killing a specific amount of a specific enemy to killing specific bosses or completing certain chapters of the main questline. And one of the coolest parts about the season journey is that to fully complete it, you have to beat an extremely difficult pinnacle challenge at the end of the season journey to complete the whole thing and get the ending permanent cosmetic rewards. And this is most likely going to take its form in a very difficult boss, which it sounds like they truly want to be very difficult, and they want to continue to add these type of very difficult encounters as they go along with each new season. And the season journey is going to be one of the ways they do that. So even in the seasonal objective system, they're still adding in a new piece of content in the end as that pinnacle challenge. So that brings us to the piece of seasons that's actually monetized, and that's the Battle Pass. Now, just right off the bat, there is going to be nothing in the paid version of the Battle Pass that can affect gameplay in any way. If you spend any money, the only thing you're going to be getting is premium currency to spend on the cosmetic shop or just more skins. And the reason I specified that there is going to be no gameplay altering features in the paid version of the pass is because from the free rewards on the Battle Pass, you will be able to get XP boosts for your account. Now, the Battle Pass is going to work in a similar way to Battle Passes from other games, but in Diablo 4, there's only going to be one track. Some of the rewards are going to be completely free, so you'll still be able to earn some premium currency and some skins by not spending a dime. And then there's going to be premium rewards that you unlock if you buy the Battle Pass, and that's going to be more premium currency that's only for the cosmetic shop and more seasoned theme skins. Now, there are going to be account-wide XP boosts in the free version of the Battle Pass, so you wanted to buy these at all. And you can't earn these account-wide XP boosts by buying skips for the Battle Pass, because you will be able to buy tier skips for the Battle Pass like pretty much every other Battle Pass, but this won't allow you to unlock these XP boosts any quicker because you have to get a character to a certain level to unlock these XP boosts for your whole account. So the idea is you go through on your main character, you get it to high level, you unlock these XP boosts, which will then help you to level up alt characters in that season even quicker. And the Battle Pass is going to coincide with every new season, so they're going to last right around 3 months, and they're going to cost $10 if you want to buy the Battle Pass to get the premium currency and premium skins. Now, for an average player, it's going to take around 75 hours to fully complete the Battle Pass. But keep in mind, this is in a 3-month time period, so if you play 1 hour for 75 out of the 90 days, you should have the Battle Pass completed. And with a game like Diablo, most people probably aren't going to have any issue playing 75 hours in 3 months. These type of ARPGs are very grindy, and people who are going to be playing every new season are going to be playing quite a bit. They'll probably get this season pass completed in the first week. And as mentioned earlier in the video, there will also be expansions somewhere down the road, and we don't know the exact time frame. We don't know if we'll be getting a new expansion every year or every 2 years, but I would fully expect new classes and very big gameplay features or massive additions to the game to be in those expansions. I probably wouldn't expect a new class in the season, and I probably wouldn't expect a full new region added into the game in a new season. And any massive new systems that change a large section of the game, I'd probably expect to be in expansions as well. But that's all I want to go over for seasons, so thanks for watching.